In the words of C.S. Lewis, he writes and says, everyone somewhat judges another on a moral standard already established in their minds. In the book, Mere Christianity. And the Bible says in Romans 14:13. So let's stop condemning each other. Decide instead to live in such a way that you will not cause another believer to stumble and fall. Welcome back to the J4 podcast. My name is Immaculate Namugenyi aka Imi. Thank you guys for your diligence. On my side, I'm sorry for offending. Seriously, offending. We have some highlights here in our previous podcast. That is Beauty Standards Part 1. I shared about that tribute is found in God, in the presence of God. And it extends to all creation. So you can see that the world has its own standards and God has his own standards. Sorry for that green light in the mic. And God has his own standards for us. So today we are doing part 2 of beauty standards, guys. Beauty standards have always been there, guys. No one should deceive you that beauty standards have just come right now. No, they haven't. They have always been there. It's just right now they're just increasing due to technology. So if it was like I said then in the previous podcast, if by then it was just, oh, my neighbor, they drive a bicycle, they drive in a car, and me I walk to school. Or if it was, oh, I get this level of pocket money and my other friend they have the highest level of pocket money that I wish I had, that I have dreamed of. So right now the beauty standard is like times 10. Like if it was 3, 1 to 3 respectively, that is mathematics, guys. Ratios. Right now it's like 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, like that's where the technology will keep going. So let's do the part 2 for beauty standards. We are diving right into the podcast, Beauty Standards Part 2, and our first anchor point. Our first anchor point is that accept let's accept the individual differences that we have. The fact that God created us all does not mean that God created us all the same way. For example, me, I have been plaiting hair, and most of my friends know I've been plaiting hair, and it lasts like not more than 2 weeks, guys. Can you imagine? I even had to whisper on this one. Not more than 2 weeks, and it's very painful because I can just get abrupt dandruff, itchiness, irritation, all those things. Very sad. Yeah, but right now, I would say that I decided that I wouldn't be plaiting my hair anymore using artificial hair extensions. That is me as an individual. So this is a personal decision, not a general recommendation to like, hi everyone, you should all be doing natural hair. You don't have to. You really don't have to. So yeah, that is my personal decision. So accept the individual. Actually, I forgot to speak in Luganda. Banange kkiriza engeri Mukama gye yakutonda, kyentegeeza gwe ng'omuntu nga kinomu. Yes, gwe ng'omuntu nga kinomu Mukama yakutonda mu ngeri ye, kati sobola kuteeka ku ddaala lye ndiko oba gwe okunteeka ku ddaala ly'oliko, naye nga Bayibuli etugambye nti nno engeri gy'olyamu nga woolya emmere. Ate eno vaasi yeregamba abantu balya pork n'abatalya pork. Kati naye n'Abachina balya buli kimu naye nga abamu balya vegetables zokka. So let's go back to English, guys. So this is not a Luganda podcast. So yeah, the beauty standard says that if Imi is a natural hair girl, and even generally natural hair natural looks That does not mean that a person who does makeup should become a stumbling block to me. I have to accept that there's someone who loves makeup, someone who likes now, like for women there are very many beauty standards. Even men have beauty standards, provision, level of provision, level of achievement, level of strength, level of assets, level of achievements, a lot. But women's things are like times 10. You have to look good, the hair, the skin, the nails, the eyes, the skin. I mean, sorry, the ears, the feet, like everything has to look put together. That's the smell, the clothes, everything has to be put together. So when you accept your individual differences, you begin to see that someone who likes makeup should not be judged by me on my already established mind of I like a natural look. It is not how God has called us. But I think in the past I used to be like a picture of natural hair, guys. There is this product, there is the other product, but that's not the call of God for everyone. The people who are okay having their wig and their skin is not affected. But according to research, most of the Africans, maybe in the diaspora, actually have low iron levels. So you see that people get alopecia. I think I hope I got that right. They get scalp issues that they end up to have baldness in the later years of their life. You find that a woman is 50 years old and they have a bald head because of the repeated scalp irritations that have been going on over and over and over and are just accumulating. Sorry, the results accumulate along as you grow or as you age. So guys, there are beauty standards that the world has, but also God has beauty standards. And God tells us to find ourselves. If makeup is not beneficial to you, don't judge someone else who does makeup, but also that someone else is required to not stumble you. So guys, I think my best someone where I perform is the duality of things. Like you have like the way the world has double standards, God has a ripple effect of something that if Imi is laughing, someone else it might be stumbling. Like, why are you over laughing? Someone else it might be inviting. So the world is that it has may be stumbling. I mean, sorry, it might the world has this thing of like, don't judge me, don't judge me. Okay, yes, but like if you're stumbling someone else by putting on your mini skirt, maybe at the wrong place, like at the church, you're stumbling someone. So that's the duality of God's word. Well, the world has double standards. Me. No other opinion apart from mine. It's my body. Yeah, so that's the world standard. So now, like for men, I would say that now, like some people can have setbacks in their midlife season, and yet the world standard is, my friend, by 40. Please, brother, you should have established some houses, a car, like something should be established, investments, like too much for men in terms of being fruitful and multiplying. And even us right now, women, we take on that posture, but like that is the world standard for men. Oh, back then. Right now, actually, it's even worse. It's not all about the cars. It's how many more, how much more, how much more can you have? As and for women is that even you, what are you bringing to the table? You who wants me, because now that everyone is able to work, both men and women, so the beauty standards have increased. That it's not just me. I'm waiting, and even me as I'm speaking right now. That is just a thought already established in my head. That may not be God's plan for you. You might get married early, you might get married late. So just accept the plan of God for your life, because the world will always have beauty standards for you. Always. This is not the last beauty standard challenge that the world would have. Every year, every age, there will always be a beauty standard somewhere, and somehow we shall all be judged on some level of achievement or success. This extends to our workplaces, this extends to our health, this extends to our looks, this extends to our friendships, this extends to our influences. It's just extension. Upon extension, it's not once in a lifetime. To always be some level of standard as an individual that people expect you to have, but learn to accept what, sorry, learn to accept what you can do, and learn to accept who you are. If you have really considered the cost of makeup, and you are like, you know what, I can actually live with this lifestyle, do it. So yeah, guys, I was still giving an example of makeup, and the recording stopped because the microphone got off. Yeah. Anyways, so our next nugget was accepting your identity physically. Um, the thing is, God fitted to create you that way. Of course, I deal a lot in design, and different people are shaped different ways, different objects are shaped different ways, different places are shaped different ways, different planets are shaped different ways, and these are freely given. Freely have we received, freely are we given, freely have we received. So maybe, so God saw it in someone's desire that they would fit it to look this way, that they'll fit it to look that skin tone they have, that's that shape they have, that gesture they have, that personality they carry. So if you're consistently comparing yourself to somebody else, it's not a good thing, because God saw it that you should have that skin tone, that nose, those eyes, those teeth. As about to say that teeth. Yeah, so accept your identity physically. Oh, if you are a woman, if you are a man, yeah, guys, and embrace it the way you can. Yeah, and that brings us to the next point, which is calling an assignment. Remember, in our first point, I said accepting our individual differences. Now, this is the thing. I may want to have natural hair, but somehow, somewhere, it might be demanded of me to adjust to makeup and that slick bun, because of where I'll be serving or assigned, whether it's the workplace or the ministry. So the calling comes with a cost. Yes, there is a cost to the calling, and you have to count the cost there in you prioritize. Now, for example, athletes, they do not have the same lifestyle as everyone else in the world. You can find that the foods they eat, the way they live their lives, compared to someone who is a tech person who needs energy, they are constantly eating. Is it? People who work in the software companies have like food is always available. Yeah, food is always available. I like the athletic discipline. Although these things I just feel like they're interchangeable. You might be like at a workplace like that, but at your real home, you are required to do other things. So this life, just balance, I believe, just balance. And our last point is stewardship. Um, Personal responsibility is not to stumble another. What is necessary and what will be necessary. So the thing is, like I said, I have natural hair, or someone else might have artificial hair. The thing is that it's their personal responsibility. You shouldn't be us in the crowd reminding them, oh, Imi, your hair looks a certain way. No, it's Imi's personal responsibility to before she leaves her home. Will my hair stamp another person at work? Of course, back then our ancestors were required to actually cover their hair during those enslavement period. But right now we have the liberty, although not fully for some people. Yes, you're required to have your hair, but you should have it in a bun, in maybe twists that are professional, guys. Professional. I was seeing some dreadlock people complaining that they're not accepted. So I said previously, calling an assignment sometimes it has to be beyond you. Unfortunately, it has to be beyond you. So yeah, stewardship. And I've already said that someone might have Vaseline, another person has CeraVe. Someone might have earrings for Vive Care, another person has earring has someone might have earrings, these ones for $1. Someone might carry earrings for $50, $1,000. So the levels in society are inevitable and always be inevitable, because some of those comforts come with responsibility. Why some people own the cars they own is because they have to. They have to travel faster, to get where they're supposed to be faster, because that's what is required of their responsibility. Their responsibility is not just me, family. Their responsibility is community, the larger connection, nations. Yeah, like that. And yeah, that's stewardship. So in conclusion, I would say that different minds God has given his human creation cannot be brought to a one possibility syndrome. You are free to imagine in his law, but you're under some boundaries. Like I always say that God has a law that has boundaries. Just like earthly law is already, no, earthly law actually always changing. It's not the same. It's not the same yesterday, today, and it's always adjusting to the seasons, unfortunately. So you're free to cling to God's law for your life, and let the beauty standard that you're judging your neighbor on actually be within the boundaries of God. Like what's really important. If someone is just born again and they're putting on a mini skirt, it's not that important for you to come up and say, "Oh, sister, you're stumbling the brethren." So don't be offended easily. That's the equation in this thing by another person. Don't be offended by someone who likes to eat their meat and someone who likes to eat their vegetables. Don't be offended. And also, like we're always taught at church that we're all at different levels in life. So you don't come to someone's child and start reproving them that they have not seen you the whole entire life, unless you are in the office of maybe a pastor, or you're in the office of a teachers, even teachers like at school, people who teach children at school, professional teachers. You're their parents. So if you're just like a stranger and you don't actually know, in Africa, it's the elderly. Let's not say that you're not imposing. The elderly have a right, but now like some of us, people will be offended. But also, in my generation, if you don't know someone relation wise, it's hard to come up and just start rebuking out of nowhere. Your shoe, they will look at you like, mind your business. Mind your business. And by the way, there are even nations that support that kind of theory of actually mind your business. Unfortunately. So, guys, thank you for coming around. This has been the Joyful Podcast, Part 2, Beauty Standards. I'm glad you made it this far, and pray for me, guys. I think we should have our podcast 1 year, 1 year, 2 years. I don't, no, it's 1 year. 1 year anniversary in August. So thank you for coming around. The earrings from town. This was some project at school. And I didn't get back the clothes, unfortunately, guys. I have memories of university that I don't want to talk about, but yeah, it is given to me. Yeah, so it's a sponsorship. Our looks is simply balm and eyeliner. Yeah, we shall upgrade in the new year this is our last podcast in the old year. As we enter into the new year of the podcast. Okay, what I'm meaning is that we have made 1 year on YouTube. All right, thank you for tuning in and coming around. Bye.